Hello everybody, welcome back to Piano Practice Partner. I hope you enjoyed the last lesson. Earlier in the week we were looking at the blues scale in F. And before that we looked at playing the F major scale, which had the addition of our first black note right here. So in today's practice along session, we will be doing the right hand F major scale, we're doing the left hand F major scale, and then we'll be looking at the blues scale again, just refreshing our memories on how that sounded and why it was the way it was. And then I'm going to put on a little backing track and we're just going to improvise along using what we learned in the previous week where we were starting to explore with improvisation. We're going to put that to some music and it's going to be awesome. I really can't wait. So let's dive on in. To begin with, let's just refresh that F major scale. So we've learnt the C major scale, all white notes. And this time we've got our first black note right here, this B flat or A sharp. And we played it with our right hand by placing our thumb on the F and playing 1, 2, 3, 4, then crossing our thumb underneath to the C, up to the F again with our ring finger, and then back down to the thumb, crossing over to our ring finger. So that's how we played the F major scale with our right hand. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock and we're just going to go up and down the scale. Vary the tempo. If it's too hard, then obviously take it at a slower pace. If you find yourself getting a bit, if you find it becoming a little bit more natural, a little bit easier to do, then increase the tempos only slightly. We're not going to go from 2 because we're going to quickly trip ourselves over. So just gradually, incrementally increase. So here we go, 5 minutes on the clock, and away we go. Take your time over that transition point, it's new to us. So figure out what is going on. Try to keep the distribution of the notes all even so they sound smooth and the same. Keep your hand nice and relaxed. Halfway there. Take it as slow as you need to get that consistency nice and even. Under a minute remaining. Keep going. Ten seconds left. There we go. How was that? Really good work, everybody. Just really getting the F major scale into our brains and getting used to inserting that new black note into a scale. Very good. We're going to move right along to doing it with the left hand. So let's just refresh our memories how the arrangement of the fingers went. So it went. So just to recap, the arrangement of the fingers on the F major scale with the left hand, we're going all the way up from pinky to thumb, with the index finger on the black note, thumb on C, and then we're crossing over, middle finger, index, thumb on F, then back down, crossing the thumb under to the C, and then just reversing that process. There we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Have fun. Take your time, take as slow as you need to. We're aiming for a smooth sound and consistent rhythm between all of the notes. Try to keep the hand and fingers nice and relaxed as you work up and down the scale. Over halfway there. Less than a minute remaining. Keep going. There we go. How's that? Was that the same or harder? For me, that was a little bit harder, and also my concentration waned a little at one point, and I found myself just playing any old note. So I had to bring myself back to being present and to focusing on the task at hand. Now, let's try. We didn't do this in the previous video, but let's try and combine the hands together. We've done that with the C major scale. Figured out where the transition point is between our two hands. So let's just figure out where that is for the F major scale. And obviously we've just drilled it with our right and our left, so hopefully it'll be in our bones and our fingers a little bit more readily available to us. So let's start. Transition point immediately here. So what are we going to do? Our thumb crosses under on our right hand, but our left hand carries on to our thumb. And then we're carrying up the scale with our right, but now we're crossing over with our left. Great, so let's just do that again. Transition here, right hand crosses under, left hand carries on. Now left hand crosses over, right hand carries on. I actually put the wrong finger down there. It should have been that one. Let's do that one more time, just for good luck. Transition. And then on the way down, we're crossing over left first, thumb underneath, and then carrying on, and our right hand now crosses over. There we go. A little bit trickier, a little bit of concentration, but we have done this before with the C major scale. So it's just taking that little bit of time around that transition point, stopping, pausing, thinking, okay, move over here, carry on, and then you've got to immediately just pause to then transition the next hand. Let's not do 5 minutes because I want to get onto the blues scale. So let's do 2.5. And obviously we can come back to this, and we should come back to this. Also, you can pause the video if you want, if you're having a good time and really want to extend that little challenge for yourself. But here we go, 2.5 minutes. We're just going to try and put both of them together. Good luck, everybody. See you on the other side. Take your time over those little transition points. Go as slow as you need to. Over halfway. Final minute remaining. Last 30 seconds. There we have it. How was that? For me, that went surprisingly better than I thought it would. I think because I had the sense memory of having just drilled the F major with both hands, but also with the knowledge that we've done a similar thing with the C major. It meant that my brain, or even though it's different, knew that it had to work at a slightly staggered pace between the left and right hand. So that didn't feel too tricky. Like, obviously concentrating quite a lot around this section, but it's satisfying to know that my fingers, my brain are sort of already coalescing with this new instrument, this new skill. So that's really cool. So we've drilled our right hand, we've drilled our left hand, we've drilled them both together. Now let's look at the F blues scale. So if this was F major, do you remember how we made a blues scale? It was by flattening the third, the fifth, and the seventh. So in the last lesson, we identified where the third was, where the fifth was, and where the seventh was. And then we just took it down half a note, so one step immediately to its left. So instead of here, we played the flattened version of the third, because 1, 2, 3. That's our flattened third would be this black note here. And then let's find where our fifth is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would be this note here, the flattening the fifth to the next note down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've flattened this note as well to this black note here. So we're flattening our third, our fifth, and our seventh. So instead of these notes, we're now going to be playing, and the rest of the scale remains the same. So we'd play there's one more thing we learned about the blues scale, and can you remember what it was? It was that we didn't play the G. We omitted this note. So instead of playing what we just played, we would skip this one, and everything else would be the same. Already sounds so cool, huh? So today what we're going to do is we're going to play along. We're just going to improvise a little bit to a backing track, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun. Let's get used to that scale, and we can just, for now, to the backing track, while we're getting comfortable, just play up and down You could choose to do it in rhythm, or you can break it up a little bit. So maybe just keep doing that and just vary the rhythm up and down until you get used to which notes we're actually playing. And then when you get a bit more comfy, maybe just explore a little bit. So play them out of sequence. Do a little bit of repetition there. And once we get used to that, and really need a great expansion of that, because I'm sticking here, is each time you start a new phrase, if we say I'm going to improvise something like, and then I'd want to do something new after that, instead of starting with this note, start with the next note up in the sequence. So I've just gone, so the next phrase I'd have to improvise from this note, and then move up again. And but you get the gist. You're just constantly moving and evolving, so not getting stuck in this little comfort zone. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's make some music. The track should start playing, and when it does, let's go. Amazing, everybody. I hope that was lots of fun. I mean, it's great. We're just playing that blues scale to that backing track, and already I feel like a pro. Obviously, we're a long way off that. We're only, 9 lessons in? So we've got some time ahead of us. But really cool to just take that really simple, and then just put it in a backing track, and already it feels like real music, huh? Don't know about you, but for things to point out for myself, as occasionally I was slipping in that little G by accident. I was occasionally slipping in this E here, which to my ear didn't sound wrong, but I think we need to be specific about what we're playing for now. We're just playing the notes we've identified, the F blues pentatonic, because if we're putting stuff in accidentally without really understanding why that makes musical sense or not, then it'll be harder to quantify the music later or understand the sort of mechanics behind it if we're just throwing in things. So I think for now it's good for myself, maybe for us to really stick to only these notes. So there's a brief refresher, because it's very new to us. So if you just find yourself in the backing track just playing just up and down the scale in some funky rhythms, and just maybe doing like so I'm now going to do the backing track with the left hand. Should be fun, maybe a bit harder, but we're going to give it a shot and see what we come up with. That went really quickly for me. I don't know about you, but I was got really into playing a little pattern over and over and just trying to get a bit better. I was enjoying crossing over this. I think it was like... I'm just trying to get that a bit better and put a little swing on it. So I got a little bit zoned in on that, and suddenly, before we knew it, the backing track had ended. I think that's so cool about any sort of passion or hobby or anything, when you just find yourself immersed in it and you lose all sense of time. Really cool. Thanks everybody for joining me. I've really enjoyed that. I hope you have too. Please drop a comment below. Let me know how you're getting on, your wins of the week, where you're practicing from in the world. It's been really exciting over the past couple of videos to read all the comments that are slowly coming in and get to interact with you. It's really exciting to be building this community together, so I hope you're enjoying learning the piano and practicing along with me. Thanks so much for your time and your commitment to this instrument, and I look forward to seeing you for the next lesson.